Here's a wild concept. Sometimes discounting trains your customers to never shop with you at full price. So if you're running a Shopify store and you're purely relying on discount codes and coupons all the time of the year, then you need to watch this video. Hey, I'm Tina. If you haven't come across any of my other videos before, I'm the head of marketing at Simple Bundles. I've been in the Shopify world though for over 7 years, working on the tech side, the agency side, and a little bit of the brand side as well. And as a consumer myself, I also have a bit of experience knowing which discounts tend to move the needle and which is just adding noise and actually hurting your brand perception. So today I want to focus on the psychology behind discounting. What is it that shoppers actually respond to? What types of discounts should you realistically be using? And how can you boost sales without wrecking your profitability and margins? I totally get it because discounts can feel like the perfect panic button. Slow sales? Run a discount. New collection? Run a discount. Abandoned cart? Here's 15% off. It's so easy to just push a discount and close the sale, and then at the end of the day say, we did it, we got the sale, our job is done. But behind the scenes, there could be so much more going on that you're not asking yourself yet. So are you potentially discounting too much? Are you discounting too often? Are you cheapening your brand? And why are people only buying when there's discounts and not when our products are at their regular price? At the same time of you asking those questions, your customers are also asking questions. Theirs are a little different though, because they're asking things like, is this really a deal? Was it ever full price? Do they just always run discounts so it seems like a deal, but really they're making a lot of money off of me? Is this really good quality and a premium brand? They're asking all of these credibility and trust building questions about you as they're browsing your page. So at the end of the day, your discount strategy is either building trust or quietly eroding it. The core problem is a lot of marketers see discounting as one thing, lowering the price. But in reality, every discount is sending a message. It's telling a shopper how premium your product really is, how confident you are in your pricing, whether your original price is actually believable, and what customers should expect from you moving forward. So when your discounts are random or always on or poorly framed, then you are potentially training your customers to just always wait for a discount before they purchase, so people are never purchasing at full price anymore, and you're turning your full price into something that they're not taking seriously anymore. All of this is doing is making your brand attract bargain hunters versus the type of shopper that could be repeatable with high LTV that wants to actually have a long-lasting relationship with your brand. So with a little psychology and structure, discounts can become one of your best growth levers. So first, let's talk about the 3 types of prices. Every pricing strategy has 3 main characters. There's the reference price, the reservation price, and the asking price. So the reference price is basically a mental number that people are already carrying around in their head as they're browsing products. So for example, if I'm going to a premium coffee shop, I can guess in my area that I live in, it's probably going to cost about $8 for a latte. So as I'm going to these different coffee shops in the area, I'm going to expect around $8. But if I suddenly go to a different coffee shop and a latte is $12, then they far surpassed my reference price. So if your price is way above that mental number, it feels expensive already. But if it's way below, then it doesn't necessarily mean it feels like a deal. It actually could just cause that consumer to mistrust you. So again, back to my coffee shop example, if I go to another boutique coffee shop, but it's $2 for a latte, I'm gonna start questioning that and wonder if it's going to taste any good. Obviously, you can't control that mental number that customers are going to have in their head as they're browsing your products, but there's a couple ways that you can shape it. So first would be showing the original price next to the discounted price. So if I go into that coffee shop and I see, hey, normally it's $8, but it's latte day, so it's only $2 today, then I'm not worried about the quality anymore because I know normally it's on par with that reference price I have in my head. Think about it as a well-framed discount that doesn't just cut the price, but actually reshapes what fair looks like to those customers. Okay, so next is the reservation price. So if the reference price is the number that they have in their head, the reservation installation price is the maximum they are willing to spend on this product. This number can totally change based on how badly they want the outcome, seasonality, the economy, their mood, their life situation. So many things can change what that max number is that they're willing to spend, but you have to know that there is a mental block here that exists. Obviously, you can't go to your customers and tell them to up their threshold, but you can play within their limits. And you can make the product feel a little bit more worth it by emphasizing quality and results, by differentiating clearly from other competitors on the market that are maybe a little bit cheaper, by using strategies like product bundles to raise the perceived value of what they're getting, adding lots of social proof to make sure it's clear that other shoppers have loved that item, and adding things like scarcity or time limits to build more FOMO that they should act now. You can also use things like surveys to just understand what's going on in your consumers' lives so that you know, hey, I can solve these problems for them with my products, and I'm gonna price them at the right point because I'm going to prove to them that when they purchase from me, it's going to give them the best outcome. Okay, so the third main character is the asking price. This is what you actually charge. Asking price is a lot more than just simply telling someone this is what it costs, because your asking price tells shoppers if you're a budget brand, if you're a mid-tier brand, or if you're a luxury brand. It tells them how much you stand behind your product and if it's going to be a splurge or an everyday essential or a bargain find for them. So if your price is always lower than competitors, you're basically telling them, hey, we're the cheap option. If it's always on sale, then your full price stops being interesting. And if it's higher than competitors consistently without solid proof to back up why, then you just feel arrogant. But when your price is supported by a clear value proposition and story and guarantees, the same number suddenly feels justified, whether it's more expensive than your competitors. So the key takeaway behind all of this is that price is a message to your shoppers and discounts are you editing that message. What do you actually want to get across? And underneath all of those emotions is a ton of cognitive bias. So there's 4 main types I want to mention. The first is anchoring. So anchoring is basically when the original price makes the discounted price feel better. Loss aversion is pretty much how it sounds. A good example of this would be saying, hey, you don't want to miss out on saving $50, which comes off as far more appealing than just get $50 off. Next is FOMO and urgency. So things like low stock, timers, or sale ends tonight sort of messaging, because this pushes faster decisions because people don't want to miss out. Last is the endowment effect, which is tapping into the feeling of keep what already feels like mine. So if a shopper already has something in their cart, a little discount can help push them to make that purchase because they want to keep what they feel like is theirs. So now that you understand the psychology behind these discounts and how you should frame them to your customers, what are the types of discounts you should actually be using? I'm going to move fast through this section, so feel free to pause, rewind, screenshot, whatever you need. First is percentage versus fixed dollar amount discounts. So percentage off tends to feel more impactful for bigger purchases because 20% off a $200 coat feels a lot more interesting than just get $40 off. Dollar off tends to feel more impactful for lower ticket items because $10 off a $50 item is a lot more easier to understand and feels more impactful than just 20% off. So rule of thumb here is use percentage discounts when it's a premium item with potential seasonal promos and campaigns where you want big numbers in your creative. Dollar discounts work really well for smaller items, cart level offers, and for first-time buyers as well. The next type of discount is for a specific segment, your first-time buyers. This is your welcome mat to your shoppers because they haven't experienced your products before. So it's great for reducing the fear of trying out something new, capturing email and SMS from those new shoppers so you can nurture and build a relationship with them, and basically just getting people into your ecosystem. But the caveat I always tell people about these first-time buyer discounts is that you need to have a strong flow in place to nurture those shoppers, because they only work long-term if you have a strong post-purchase flow to build a relationship with that shopper, whether through some email, some SMS, a mix of both. If you have a good product experience, so they're satisfied with what they purchased, and that you give them a reason to come back without just pushing yet another discount. Because if your second purchase rate is low from your first-time shoppers that bought because of a discount, then you have an issue there that you need to revisit. Fix the experience before you give the offer. Next is loyalty discounts. Loyalty discounts aren't necessarily about percentages off or dollars off, it's about recognition. So this is when you offer things like points that convert to credit to the store, tiered rewards, or VIP only experiences for shoppers that have spent the most or been around the longest. Loyalty discounts work well because customers feel like they earned those experiences. So instead of feeling like another coupon, it feels like an experience of being part of a brand that they've proven their loyalty to. Next is seasonal discounts. So this is when you're riding the wave of cultural moments like Valentine's Day, Black Friday, back to school, Christmas, New Year's, all of those sort of holidays. And also shoppers are typically already expecting discounts during these times of the year, so you can clear your seasonal inventory very easily, boost conversion without looking desperate because literally everyone else is already doing it too, and make your brand part of bigger shopping rituals. And because these are time bound and already predictable, they're less likely to train your customers to expect that discount all of the time. Next is the flash deal or the limited time offer. Now, this is the one that I see people abuse the most often, so you have to be careful with it because it's so easy during slow times to just run a flash deal every other week. You don't want to do this. This is what starts to hurt your brand and train your customers to expect discounts too often. They feel like an adrenaline shot and they're perfect for clearing inventory fast, for maybe re-engaging a stale audience, or spiking cash flow during a slow period once in a while. Again, not every other week. Once in a while. I saw one brand do this well where it was their anniversary sale. So it was just one weekend only, that it was 30% off everything on the site. So it's kind of saying, hey, you can expect that we might do this on a yearly basis, but never any other time. Next is BOGO deals, so buy one, get one. It's basically the perfect script to say, spend more, get more. So this is great for consumables like skincare, snacks and supplements, for high margin products, and for introducing people to more SKUs. The hidden benefit here is product adoption, because if your customers are getting more for spending more, they're probably also trying even more products that they could potentially fall in love with and come back and purchase again. Next is bundle discounts. Bundles pair multiple products with a better price than if those shoppers were to purchase everything individually. They increase average order value, reduce decision fatigue, and help people build routines or kits to solve a problem. This includes things like fix sets, like morning skincare routine, build your own bundles like snack boxes, multi-packs of the same item for things like wholesale or just buying in bulk, or free gift with purchase bundles when you need to maybe clear some extra stock. This is what we specialize in at Simple Bundles, so if you are looking for a new product bundling partner that can help you do all of these things while keeping it clean on the back end, because that's what we specialize in. Moving on. Next is volume discounts. So basically buy more, save more. This is perfect for pantry items, household goods, office supplies, things that people maybe need to buy in bulk. Then we've got tiered discounts. So tiered discounts kind of gamify the cart a little bit. So it's like if you spend $50, you get 10% off. If you spend $100, you get 15% off. If you spend $150, you get 20% off. So the more they spend, the better earnings they receive. So if someone's at $40, to them it's like, oh, I should just add one more item to my cart to get to the $50 mark so that I get the 10% off on my next order. This is a really good average order value lifter. And lastly is threshold discounts. So kind of similar to tiered discounts, but the offers change. So for example, maybe you get free shipping if you spend $75 or more. If you spend $100, then you get $20 off your next purchase. And if you spend $200, then maybe you get 40% off your next purchase. So the offers can change based on how much they spend, but it's another great strategy for encouraging higher value purchases. So now that you know all the discount types, how can you optimize your strategy? I've got 6 tips for you here. First, you need to believe in your own price. If you don't believe your price is fair, your customers won't either. Next, make shoppers think a little bit before you decide to just offer a discount. You want to let them read reviews about your brand or your products, maybe watch some demo videos, compare options, or even imagine themselves using the product and how it could fit into their life. Next is limit frequency and increase predictability. So again, don't be the brand that's constantly running discounts every single weekend. Put discounts at predictable times. So during key sales moments throughout the year that people already expect, when they're more meaningful or on brand, or when you can train customers that this is a special opportunity for whatever reason versus something we're gonna have all of the time. And also segment your discounts. You can have different ones running for different reasons. First-time buyers probably expect a different discount than someone who's already been shopping with you for a long time and has proven their loyalty. So having different discounts for these different buying stages and different types of buyers will make them feel a little bit more personal and targeted to their experience in that moment. The next tip is to attach your discounts to a story. And by that, I mean a specific moment in the shopper's life or their journey. So things like maybe you just launched a new product and you're excited to share it with your VIP shoppers, they're getting first access. Or you have a limited edition drop, so adding in some of that FOMO, it's maybe only so many items available. This way, when you're offering discounts for these purposes, it feels more like a celebration versus desperation. Lastly, you can use non-discounts too. Incentivizing customers doesn't always have to be about percentages or dollars off. There are other ways you can make the purchase more valuable. So things like free shipping with purchase or free gift with purchase. These sort of things increase the perceived value of those purchases without you having to actually slash any costs. Even with all of these tactics that I've mentioned and the psychology that I've talked about, there's still one thing that matters more than anything else when it comes to discounting, and that's clarity. If your pricing and your discounts feel confusing, doesn't matter how much you've tapped into psychology or how perfect your price is, if it's confusing, cluttered, or even too clever, people aren't going to understand and it's not going to feel like a win to them and they're not going to purchase. So no matter what, always keep your offers simple. Use clean, intentional design to display those offers so that it's easy for customers to see. And don't stack too many promotions at once where it gets confusing to know, hey, they have this 20% off welcome discount, but then they're also running this 15% off site-wide sale. Which discount do I get to use? Just keep it simple. And then test. Always, always test. You might find that your audience loves BOGO deals far more than a simple 20% off. Or you might find that a product bundle is a far more interesting offer than getting loyalty points. Always let the data decide and continue to iterate after that. If there's one list that I can leave you with, it's to understand reference, reservation, and asking price, to use discount types intentionally, to protect your brand and margins, and to keep experimenting to see what's going to work best. I hope this was helpful, and if you want to try product bundles or free gift with purchase bundles, you know where to find me. Simple Bundles can help you do all of that. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and make sure you check out our channel for other videos because we're always talking about Shopify tips, e-commerce tips, and product bundling tips all the time. Now start discounting smartly, and I'll see you in the next video.